Welcome to the Mind Myself podcast. I'm Esther, and it is my pleasure to be bringing you information about healthcare approaches, health issues, and people's health journey stories, all from the complementary, holistic, and integrative perspectives, helping you become your own best health advocate and helping you make your own informed choices because you matter. Welcome to Mind Myself, Conversations with E. I'm Esther, founder and CEO of Mind Myself, and it is my pleasure to welcome Hayley Clarke to our podcast today. And she's going to talk to us about Reiki. We hear all about Reiki, Reiki this, Reiki that, but what is Reiki? So hi, Hayley, welcome.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Excellent. Maybe tell us a little bit about your credentials and your background and why you love to do this Reiki work.
Absolutely. I started on my journey about 20 years ago, and first I was always drawn to the healing arts. And I started with massage, and I'm a shiatsu therapist, a Japanese massage technique, foot reflexology, personal training. And when I started out my career, I was seeing a lot of people for different injuries, strengthening, car accidents, repetitive strain injuries, sports, you name it. And the more I went with my practice, the more I found there was more to people's pain, such as the underlying stressors and emotions and tension that were stuck in the body. And as I began to explore that more, I found Reiki in 2010. And I've been certified in several different modalities and therapies. And honestly, Reiki is probably the simplest and the closest to my heart. I love sharing it with other people. I love sharing it with my students so they can pass it and care for themselves and for others. And it's just been an absolute gift.
Excellent. Well, that leads us right into what is Reiki? How do you tell us what that is?
Okay. Reiki is a Japanese healing art, and it literally translates to mean universal life force energy. So it is that beautiful energy that we've heard about for thousands of years through every religion, every spirituality in Mother Nature. It's that same energy that we feel when we're walking through the forest or we're at the ocean. And it was discovered and kind of put into a structure by a man named Dr. Usui in 1922. So Reiki is not as old as you would think it was. It's just over 100 years old, and it's amazing how it's spread all over the world. We're starting to hear about it more and more and more. So Mikao Usui was on a spiritual journey and found Reiki on his 21st day, discovered this gift. And on his way down the mountain, he fell and hurt himself. And he laid his hands on his injury and was miraculously able to heal himself.
Wow.
And so he carried this down the mountain and shared with family and friends, and then began to share with the community. And since then, it has spread. It was brought to the United States by Mrs. Hoeo Takata to Hawaii. So we can thank her for bringing it to North America, right? She's just beautiful, beautiful creature. And we're grateful for her work. And it has just taken off since.
Wonderful. And do you have to be religious or spiritual to benefit from Reiki?
Absolutely not. That's another piece that I really love about Reiki, is that it is truly for everyone. You don't have to have a specific religion. There's no dogma, no belief system. It truly is this beautiful natural healing energy that surrounds us and is within us.
Wow. Sounds amazing. And can anyone receive Reiki?
Yes, a lot of people that come to see me are curious. They've heard about this energy healing work and wonder what it is and what it feels like. It really is experiential. So people will come out of curiosity, either into the clinic. I also do virtual and distance Reiki sessions as well. It can be for people that have tried everything else, and they'll find their way trying energy healing, and it will be transformative for them, life-changing for them. And it also works on all ages. It's helpful for little babies, right up to the elderly. So it's quite unique in that way. It's very gentle and not invasive. So it's very safe for anyone.
Wonderful. Now, you talked about doing in-person sessions and virtual sessions. What does a session look like or feel like? How does that work in both cases?
Okay, yes. To start out a session, like most therapies, of course, the client will fill out an intake form. If it's a child, then the parent will do it for them. So usually sessions are about an hour. First session, I always give a little more time. I like to have that time to connect and get to know who I'm working with. And once we've chatted, I learn a little bit about their health history, what brought them to see me, and what their intentions are for the session. Then we go into practice. So if it's someone that's seeing me in the clinic, then they lay down on the massage table, just wearing comfortable cotton clothing. It's great. Yoga pants, jogging pants, a t-shirt. You can come in your PJs if you'd like, whatever's most comfortable. And same with those that are at home. If we're doing a virtual session, they'll be in a comfortable space, comfy clothes, either sitting up or laying down, or a place that they can do both. I've definitely had that as well. And that energy in the clinic is just that gentle laying of hands, just on or above the body. And I go through various hand positions from head to toe, just focusing basically positive energy, that universal life force energy onto the person. And our bodies have this innate knowing. We know how to heal. So when a Reiki practitioner carries that energy and holds that space, the client's body knows what to do with it. And it brings them into that, relaxes their nervous system, brings them into that rest and relaxation place. And that's where the healing happens.
Sounds wonderful in person, but how does that work virtually? So, you put your hands above or on the body at various places, but if you're virtual, how does that work?
How does it work? The mystery. Well, the Reiki love, it travels the distance, whether the person's in the same room with you, in the next city, or in another country. I've treated people all over the world. And it's all about intention, just like prayer, or, we've all had those experiences and maybe not realized them, where we're connecting with another person. How many times have you thought of somebody and then you've run into them the next day, or heard from them on the phone? I think it's happened with all of us. And so with Reiki, it just supercharges this energy and brings focus to it. What you focus on grows stronger. And so, just similarly as people that are laying on the table receiving hands-on treatment, those that are in their homes elsewhere, as a Reiki practitioner, we're just closing our eyes and with intention, sending the Reiki energy to them. And whether they're in person or online, the person may feel different tingling through their body. They may feel the need to move and their spine will align. They may feel little...
Making me want to do that right now.
Yes. Feel those little muscle flickers, as the tension releases between the muscle fibers. Some people will go into a meditative state, that zone, right? I think we've all been there too. So it's quite remarkable how it works. It absolutely blows my mind. It still is a blessing to me that I get to experience this every day.
That's so great. And what can Reiki help somebody, me, you, anybody who you work with? What can it help them with?
Another piece, it never ceases to amaze me, the benefits that come. I feel like often people will come with a specific purpose or intention, whether it's pain, chronic pain, arthritis, immune issues, allergies, car accidents. They'll come for mental and emotional pieces. I'm struggling with depression, anxiety, so much anxiety right now. It's huge. And Reiki is extremely helpful for that. Different trauma, those pieces that get stuck in our body. Reiki is amazing for helping to lift these different stressors and tensions of events or experiences or our thoughts that get stuck in our body. And when that tension is released, it creates this space for healing to happen and for us to feel good and feel lighter. It also gives you that space to connect with yourself. People often at the end of a session, they'll go, wow, I feel so much lighter and more grounded, and I feel more me for the first time in I don't know how long. So I really feel like it's unlimited, the benefits that can come just simply from having that space held for you, of going into that rest and relaxed space and allowing that divine energy or innate healing abilities to do what they do best.
For sure. And sometimes part of it might even be just taking that quiet time for ourselves with focused, intentional energy from our own self and from somebody else. When do we do that? We get so busy. So taking time out for the session is amazing.
100%. It's one of those things. I have a lot of people that will come if they're able to once a month. I have people that come more, I have people that come less, but it's their treat. And it's just so helpful. And myself as a practitioner, I make sure I walk my talk. I go and receive my session at least once a month or twice a month, because it makes such a world of difference to my life and how I feel.
I loved your analogy at the beginning of our talk here today about it's like the energy of walking in a forest. So in a way, Reiki's like forest bathing without the forest, but it's connecting to that same life force energy. And I love that image. Thank you for that.
Yes, beautifully said. Thank you.
And can Reiki have any adverse effects? I know there are some skeptics out there, but are there any adverse effects?
I would never say never to anything, because I don't know everything. However, in my practice of primarily energy work, healing, and Reiki over the last 13 years, no, I always say to people, if they're skeptical, what's the worst that's going to happen? If you're laying down for an hour, having positive energy sent your way, it's going to help.
Totally. I'm 100% on board. Let's do a session for sure.
Yes.
How does somebody find a Reiki practitioner? How do they choose the right one for them?
I feel like as Reiki practitioners, that connection, people are drawn to who they're meant to see. I have such a beautiful group of clients that I feel so honored to have. And I feel like as somebody curious about Reiki or needing that support, talking to friends, if you know somebody that's had Reiki before and can refer you to someone, That's always wonderful, you know. And also, of course, Google, looking online, and use your own intuition. Go to who you're drawn to. There's amazing Reiki practitioners out there, all over the world. And absolutely, you know, going with what connects and what feels right for you is a beautiful start.
Absolutely. And you're part of Mind Myself. So if people want to book a session with you, absolutely feel free to bathe in that gentle, wonderful healing energy that you exude, Hayley. It's just so great.
Yes, 100%. I would love that.
So one thing that you'd like to leave your listener with today as we wrap up?
I suppose, you know, I see a lot of people that have tried everything else, you know, for years, for different either injuries or pain, mental, emotional pieces, feeling more centered within themselves or spiritual connection. And I guess my final words are don't give up, like believe, you know, anything is possible. And there are ways, it's just finding that right opening for you, and it's available. And I have seen miracles happen. It is possible.
Fantastic ending. Thank you, Hayley, so much for being a part of Mind Myself and for being on this podcast with us today.
Thank you, Esther, and thank you so much for everything you're doing.
My pleasure.
Thank you for being with us at the Mind Myself podcast today. We know that time is precious and you've spent some of your valuable time with us. We're grateful. If you would like to reach out to our guests directly, the information is below. And if you would like more from Mind Myself, that information is also below. Please visit our website and check out all the information about the different complementary, holistic, and integrative healthcare approaches, information about health issues, more podcasts, tons of blogs, and we even have a community page for you where you could reach out and tell your story safely, or you could ask questions and perhaps somebody else in the world is going through something similar to you. In any case, we're so glad you're with us, and we're doing this because you matter.